Imagine a gritty, sci-fi Western showdown on a desolate moon, a concept so cool it practically screams for rediscovery. But for too long, Peter Hyams' 1981 film Outland, starring the legendary Sean Connery, has languished in relative obscurity. Why did this ambitious, action-packed movie never quite achieve the recognition it deserved? Here at Joe Blow, we're passionate about shining a light on overlooked cinematic gems, and Outland is a prime example. I've even dedicated a whole series, The Best Movie You Never Saw, to films just like this one. And trust me, Outland is right up there with the best I've covered. Think High Noon transported to Io, one of Jupiter's moons. Connery plays a hardened marshal, tasked with maintaining order in a remote mining colony. But he soon uncovers a deadly conspiracy, orchestrated by the corporation running the operation. When he refuses to back down, they send assassins to silence him. Isolated and with no one willing to risk their lives to help, he's forced to confront these ruthless killers alone. Outland is particularly fascinating because of its place in sci-fi history. The late 70s and early 80s were a pivotal time for the genre. Star Wars revolutionized filmmaking in 1977 with groundbreaking special effects, opening up incredible possibilities for science fiction and fantasy. But then came Alien in 1979, a distinctly mature and terrifying take on sci-fi that introduced horror elements and a palpable sense of dread. Outland definitely feels like a spiritual successor to Alien, almost like a spin-off. The sinister corporation, headed by a surprisingly villainous Peter Boyle, echoes the menacing Weyland-Yutani Corporation from Alien, and this is the part most people miss. The connections to Alien run deeper than just thematic similarities. 9 key members of the production design team worked on both films. Furthermore, Outland was produced by the Ladd Company, led by Alan Ladd Jr., the very executive who greenlit Alien while at 20th Century Fox. He also championed Blade Runner the following year, solidifying his influence on the era's defining sci-fi films. To top it all off, both movies boast incredible scores by the legendary Jerry Goldsmith. So, with all these elements working in its favor, why did Outland struggle to find its audience? Perhaps it was due to the perception of Sean Connery's career at the time. In the early 80s, he was still trying to redefine himself after James Bond. Some suggest that Outland's disappointing box office performance may have even pushed him towards reprising his role as 007 in Never Say Never Again. His true comeback wouldn't arrive until later in the decade with films like The Name of the Rose, Highlander, and The Untouchables. Upon its initial release, Outland was considered a flop, preventing it from achieving the classic sci-fi status it arguably deserved. But here's where it gets controversial. Was Outland's gritty realism too much for audiences used to the more fantastical elements of Star Wars? Or did its thematic similarities to Alien make it feel derivative? Thankfully, Arrow Video has stepped in to give Outland the deluxe 4K re-release it deserves, and let me tell you, the new transfer is stunning. The movie looks fantastic in 4K, and the release is packed with insightful bonus features that delve into its unique place in film history. Despite its initial struggles, Outland was groundbreaking in its own right. It was the first film to utilize the Introvision front projection system, a crucial precursor to modern green screen technology. The disc's extras provide a detailed explanation of the system's development and its impact on visual effects. Many iconic shots, like the boys running from the train in Stand By Me, and Harrison Ford's leap from the bus in The Fugitive, were achieved using Introvision. Peter Hyams himself provides an extended interview, along with cinematographer Stephen Goldblatt, who makes the surprising admission that Hyams essentially directed the entire film and only brought him in specifically for the Introvision sequences. If you've never experienced Outland, I wholeheartedly recommend picking up this new 4K edition. It's a film ripe for rediscovery, brimming with intense action, impressive and occasionally gruesome practical effects, a commanding performance from Connery, a classic score by Goldsmith, and that unmistakable alien atmosphere. And while you're at it, be sure to check out my episode of The Best Movie You Never Saw, dedicated to Outland. Now, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Do you think Outland deserves more recognition? Was it ahead of its time? Or simply overshadowed by other sci-fi giants? Share your opinions in the comments below.